So you may start playing golf, you fancy giving it a go yourself, so you've gone and got yourself one of these, an iron, not just a golf club. You stood on the driving range with a load of balls in front of you and you're not really too sure where to start. Well, this video is designed for you. We're going to give you 3 really simple and effective tips that you guys as a beginner should know, can implement very effectively on the driving range by yourself, and this is going to give you the foundation for your golfing journey. So the first of our 3 components is strike. How do we effectively strike the golf ball with our golf club so we can get that ball going somewhere? So it's important for us to understand that when the golf ball is on the floor, there's something physically that we must do in order to effectively get that golf ball going somewhere. So if the golf ball is on the floor, it's paramount for us to understand that our golf club has to be hitting the golf ball with a descending blow coming onto the golf ball so that we can effectively strike the golf ball with the club face to get it going somewhere. What you commonly see a lot of people do when they go on the driving range for the first time, they'll try and help the golf ball up, hit the ball with the golf club moving on the up, commonly hit the ground really early, hit the top of the ball and all that kind of stuff, and that is for the reason why, because your concept of how you strike the golf ball is not quite in line with the physics of how we must hit the golf ball. So the golf club has to move down when we hit the golf ball. So how do I implement that onto a driving range? So you grab yourself a piece of chalk, really cheap thing you can get from a shop or whatever, and just draw a line down, kind of similar to what my yellow line on the floor here is all about, and place your golf ball just behind that line. If you wanted something a bit more definitive, about a thumb's width in front of the golf ball. Now, we're going to do a few swings to start with, just effectively setting up where my golf ball would be and learn to bruise that line, okay? If the golf club has hit the floor, by definition that golf club has moved on the way down, and if it has bruised that yellow line, it would have moved down in a descending manner to a point where it would have struck the ground just in front of the golf ball. It's not underneath or before, it's moving down and it's striking the floor in front of the golf ball. So if you can do some swings, just understanding and incorporating that idea of the golf club moving down, that bruising noise is what you want to listen to. You don't want to excavate down it, you want to bruise that ground. You can then set up to the golf ball and clip some away with your conscious intention on still bruising that line whilst the golf ball is fractionally in front of it. And that is the first key for you to implement and to learn. Strike. What is it? Something that you can do on the driving range to action that, and we can move further on from there. The next key we're going to look at now is the grip. Now, it's important to understand that there isn't a one grip fits all. However, there's a fantastic starting place for you guys as beginners to learn, because a lot of questions that I hear people ask is, how do I hold the golf club and all that kind of stuff. So this is a fantastic starting point for you guys to build from. Now, it's important to go through this in a really systematic routine, so you're not one of those guys who kind of grabs it like a club and just tries and whacks it as fast as they can. When you're getting the golf club down, make sure your club face is looking towards the target when you're doing this. Make sure you're not gripping the golf club with that golf club moving everywhere, because if your golf club looking right or looking left, it's a pretty good chance the ball ain't going to go straight. So make sure it's looking straight. From there, whatever your glove hand is, so for a right-handed golf, it's your left hand, for a righty, or for a lefty, it's your righty. Place that hand on first, and whilst that golf club is remaining straight, there's 2 key things we want to look for. Number 1, we want to make sure we're gripping the golf club in the base of the fingers at a slight angle. So going through the crease in your pinky finger towards the bottom there, towards the first crease in your index finger. It's not at a 90-degree angle, it's at a slight side. So in the base of the fingers, and from there you're going to take your grip. Now, once you've got your grip, you're going to be able to take note of that line between the thumb and the index finger. You want that line to be going up towards your right armpit. If it's going up towards that right armpit, and your club face is nice and square, not looking right and left, you're in a position now where you can just simply chuck your right hand on and do exactly the same. In the base of the fingers, again with that crease going up towards that right armpit, and that left thumb will sit nice and snug in that little crater, that cradle, which you've created in that right hand. Now, in terms of what's going on back here, there's 3 different types of grips. You've got a 10-finger grip, which a lot of beginners will gravitate towards, where all 10 fingers are on the grip, or a baseball grip. And you've got 2 others, which is an interlock grip, which is quite popular, where these 2 fingers interlock, or an overlap grip, where it just sits nice and snug in between the gap. Now, which one you go for, I'm not too bothered, and I wouldn't be over-obsessive like some people are on that. The only thing I'd say is a must not do is a gap. Wouldn't like a gap there, but if you're someone who spends their time focused on these keys from the perspective as you can see me on the camera, in the fingers, crease towards the right armpit in both those hands, and you grip it one of those 3 ways, that's fantastic. And if you gravitate towards the more common of the interlock or overlap grips down the line, that's just fine. So we're now in a position now where we know what the grip is all about. We know how to strike the golf ball. And now it's for our final thought in the swing, something to get us hitting that line in a much better way and get us to start moving the golf swing in an appropriate manner. And the best way I can describe this is how we describe it to our juniors here, is what I would call pro feet. So when you go and see the pros on TV, they get into this position, whether it's nice and professional, hold their finish, and what you'll notice all of them do is this right foot will be coming off the ground. Now that's not just an aesthetic motion, it serves a lot of function as well. That's going to get the weight shift and the pressure shifting through the hip. It's going to get you through into a nice full rotated finish with the chest and the lower half looking straight towards the target. All my weight's on this front leg. You can see how I can pick my right leg up there in order to prove that. And instead of us thinking too methodically as to how, what and why, if we just say to you, look, strike that line and show me those pro feet, that's a nice simple way to get the golf club moving, get the swing moving, whilst incorporating a little bit of strike in there as well. So just to recap those three really key important points that any of you beginners can take to the range to start you on your golfing journey. Number one, what is strike? Strike is the golf club moving down, bruising the line just in front of the golf ball, and you can use a piece of chalk just to draw a line in front of the golf ball so you've got something visual to focus on. Number two, the grip. Make sure the club is nice and square. Get your dominant hand or your glove hand on first. Make sure it's in the fingers, the crease goes towards your right armpit, and the right hand sits on, does exactly the same. Now we've got the grip and we're thinking about striking that line, the only way we're going to get that swing moving is just to show good, effective pro feet. We don't want to be hanging back like a lot of you guys do. We want to be moving through the golf ball, and just by simply thinking about this pro feet while striking that line at the same time is two really simple ideas as to how you can go about striking the golf ball. So let's give it a go. I know what the strike is, I've got my line down, fantastic, I've got my grip. Yep. Well done. Now I'm just going to go with nice effective pro feet, and I hope to bruise that yellow line whilst doing so. So I hope that helps. Three simple things that any of you beginners can take to the range, start to catch up with your mates and start you on your golfing journey. If you have any comments, any questions, drop a comment in the comment section down below. Drop me a follow on my socials, and for any online or in-person coaching, drop me a follow on the SKILLEST app, search David Atkins and drop me a message from there. But until next time, I'll catch you on the next one.